So back in the mountains again at the shelter. I purchased one of those cheap outdoor thermometers that you just use, around the garden or something, and I've left it inside the shelter overnight. I put it in yesterday afternoon, and I just want to see what the temperatures are like. It's fairly cool up in the mountains today. I've got this jersey on, and it's keeping me warm, but I can feel there's a bit of a chill in the air, with the fall starting. But anyway, I just wanted to go inside now and take a quick look at the temp on it. This is where we are at the moment. I've put this cover on. I'm going to have to add some additional bracing to try and keep it in a form that is going to shed water. Once the snows start, I'll just roll this back and keep it out the way and figure out something else. I just bought in some of the chunks of cedar, from the tree trunk that I chopped up around the back here. I've added a few little drains down the side here. I've got to be careful, I can't go too deep on these because of, there's living tree roots right here, so I'll figure that out as the water and rain starts accumulating in it, and just see what the best way to go with it will be. So you can see this is all just lying here now. This is all the remnants from the tree trunk. This is the rest of it that continues down. So I have basically an endless supply of wood. I mean, there's a lot of board feet of wood here, and this is what I found quite interesting on shows like Alone and that, is that people have these massive stumps around them and they don't think to break them apart and use them as wood. The cedar does eventually dry out. I mean, you can see around here there's quite a few fallen cedar trees that they were cut down, but they were never removed. So if I was here to over an extended period, there would be no excuse for me having not having firewood. So obviously you can see the fall's happening here. Everything is shedding its leaves, etc. Anyway, let's go inside the shelter and have a look and see what the temperature is like. I'll bring the thermometer out straight after, and we can lay it out here for an outside temp and just see if there is actually any comparison. Obviously this is not at its completely sort of sealed up stage. I've got a bit more to do, but overall it's not too bad. Just going with the flashlight, I think. It's a bit dark in here. Alright, let's see what we've got here. So it's just below 60 Fahrenheit, and what is it? It's around about 12 degrees centigrade, and the humidity has increased since yesterday. Yesterday the humidity was only about 60, and it's now up to about 75. We are expecting a change in the weather, and I thought we'd actually have rain by now, but that it is on its way, so at least it's nice to have this information. Okay, so we said it's about just below 60, about 12. So a little bit more adjusting and fiddling around to do, but this is going to be the start. This will be the base. This is just a fairly heavy top. It's not one of the super skinny ones. And we'll consider what we're going to do after this. This is just a mover's blanket which I would use to lie on. So, work in progress still. Alright, let's go and take a look at this temperature outside. I've made myself a little table with these remnants that I found at an old logging area. I'll use the offcuts just as firewood later. Alright, I'll bring that back when I've got a temperature. Alright, so as expected, outside temperature equals inside temperature of an unheated shelter or with no heat source within it. Perfect. So I've just been bringing in some more of these cedar chunks. I'm going to make a stockpile here. Some of it's still a bit damp, but it'll dry out. And this is what the shelter looks like with the, I suppose, the window, the door rolled up. And that allows for, I'm talking absolute shit here. Right, here's just a quick look at the shelter with the plastic screen slash window, whatever you'd like to call it, rolled up. That just suspends off the main brace here. So I've got a permanently covered situation. The only thing I'm just going to figure out, talking crap here again. So here's just a quick look at the shelter with the plastic screen slash window up, and I've just been collecting up some of these cedar chunks. The only thing I've got to figure out is what size fire I can have here, and I've got to be really careful that it doesn't get too hot and burn through the tarp up here. Ideally, when the tarp is wet, that shouldn't be a problem, but I haven't got the expected rain that I was hoping for today. Anyway, it's on its way, but whether it's going to come later this afternoon or tonight, I don't know. So I was hoping to test all of this with actual rain coming down, but anyway, Mother Nature has her own plans. But yeah, you can see that the shelter's pretty spacious. As I said before, it's a little over 7 feet by 7 feet in either direction. It's not a perfect square by any sense of the imagination. I've had to work around whatever the ground would allow me to here. So I'll get a small fire going and just see what it feels like with a completely open situation. Obviously the down screen position is for the extreme weather. But I just want to see what type of heat capture it has. I may or may not put up tarp walls, to close up these sides to further, contain the heat, act as reflectors, and also keep the wind out. Fortunately, with being in a forest situation, the wind is very much broken up by the topography as well as the trees, so I never really have a gale force wind coming through here. Washington is prone to having very severe windstorms, which is another situation altogether. That's where you do get very, very high winds coming through, and the forest gets torn to pieces. But that's the other side of the coin. We have them typically once a year, over a course of time. But we'll just have to see. Hopefully, I don't have any trees smashing through what I've created. Yeah. Anyway, if it does, so be it. Right, what else have we got here? That's my wood pile. I've got some other stuff under there which I just want to keep dry with the top. So as long as you have a fair supply of dry wood, you can always bring in more and sort of dry it around the fire or under cover, but otherwise the stuff is pretty much all soaked through once the winter rains start here.